That's my 16-year-old son. And that's his truck. And nope, we didn't buy it for him. He saved his pennies for this one, working a job most 16-year-olds have never even heard of. He's a bladesmith. Yep, didn't see that one coming. And today I want to tell you how that actually happened. It's not something a mom really plans for her child, but I also want to tell you what it taught me about raising kids who go after what they're made to do. I have 3 sons and 1 daughter, and if you've been around here for a while, you know I talk a lot about getting outside, about slow living, and about how the outdoors helps to grow our faith. But something I don't talk enough about is this. Every single one of my kids is wired completely different. And my job was never to make them the same. It's to pay attention to how they're different, who God made them to be. How'd you get into bladesmithing? Walk me through it a little bit.
I started by making swords and axes out of plywood. Then I saw a YouTube video and I wanted to give it a shot. So at 10 years old, I took apart my mom's wheelbarrow and I used the supports for my first knife.
Yes, he did. Yep, that was naughty, but it was creative.
Yeah, it worked.
Couldn't be mad.
Yeah.
All right, and then where'd you go from there?
And then from there, I started buying materials from actual knife suppliers. And now I'm here 6 years later making high quality knives. Fixed blades, fit in the pocket really nicely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few steps in between there, but
Yep.
I seem to remember you selling wood knives and swords to the neighbor kids.
Yep.
When your sister was doing lemonade stands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, it did.
I remember when this all started. It wasn't some big plan one of us had. It was just his interest. A spark. And here's the thing about sparks. You can ignore them, or you can hand your kid some kindling and get out of their way. All right, and what drew you to knives, actually, or making knives? Was there a specific memory, or did you...
I kind of just like sharp things, and yeah, I like sharp things and kind of sketchy objects. So I've always wanted to make a knife. I didn't have enough money to buy like a good knife, so I just thought it'd be easier to make one. And that's what I did. Now I turned it into a full business, making and selling knives.
I remember you wanted a sword really badly. When we had taken some trip and we were in a little gift shop, and you wanted like a King Arthur sword, and it was wood, and it was like, I don't know, $45 or $50.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do. And then I went home and made one.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, buddy, you don't want to spend your money on something that you and Dad could make for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's what I did.
So you did. You came home and made one.
Yep.
And that was out of wood.
Yeah, plywood.
Yep.
Yeah, and it worked.
It did work. And you had a blast with that sword.
Yeah, I did.
But you did like sharp things. I remember you always wanted to cut things yourself, like cut your food yourself as a little kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's just in you.
Yeah.
So you're good with knives now, but were you... Sheesh. Oh, always distractions. Okay, so you're good at making knives now, but what was it like in the beginning? Did you always feel like you knew what you were doing?
No, it was definitely rough. I had to file bevels. It was not pretty.
What do you mean? Can you show us like a bevel, what that means?
A bevel is the sharp part of the knife where it angles down and gives you a nice thin edge.
And so you were doing that by hand?
Yep.
And now what do you do?
And now I use a 2x72 belt grinder. and it's a lot more efficient.
Oh no, I forgot my question. When did you start selling the metal knives then? You sold some wood ones.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point did you feel like you could sell them?
When I was,
good
I think,
knives.
12 years old, that's when I started my business, and I took a small course, but it was mostly just watching YouTube videos, trial and error, and I finally started kind of getting it, and then I started a business at 12 years old, and then it took off.
What course did you take?
Kyle Royer beginner course.
A Kyle Royer beginner course?
And that was gifted to me from when I entered into a beginner knife build, and the winner didn't need the course, so he gave it to me.
Yeah, that was a real gift. I remember that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Remember his name?
Cohen's Craft is his Instagram, and Morgan is his name.
Yeah, cool guy.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets good, because loving something is one thing, but this kid of mine turned a hobby into an actual income. He started selling what he made, and then he 10x'd it, and then he did it again. It's been so fun to watch. Okay, so then your business started, well, would you say taking off? I mean, you sold some things.
Yeah, I sold some things. Mostly started taking off last year when I started getting into more production scale, and I started being more efficient and consistent with the knives that I was producing and publishing, and then that's kind of when it took off. Okay, so at what point here in this game did you decide to save for something specific? I think I was 14. 14 for sure, but I knew I wanted a truck. So I've been saving a long time for that, and now I have it. So that's pretty cool. So you've been saving since you were 14? Yeah, 13 or 14. Yeah. I think it was 13. Probably. Did you always want the same truck, or did that change? Very similar. Wanted a F-150. Yep. And then I thought if I worked even harder, I could get a Raptor. Yep. So I did. So you did. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you there were 100 small moments along the way here that we could have helped to make things easier on him. We could have stepped in when things got hard. We could have covered the gap a little so he could have the next tool to make his job easier. And there's no shame in that. Every family does things differently. But as his parents, we wanted him to feel the weight of his big goals. Because something happens to a kid when the thing he's working toward actually costs him a little something, you know? Okay, so tell me about the day you got your truck. We were out of town. We came back on a Monday, and the truck was sitting in the driveway. How'd it get to the driveway? He was delivered from Oregon. One of our neighbors intercepted it? Intercepted it, yeah. And then just brought it here. And your first thoughts were? It was big. It was big. It was huge. Yeah. Never seen a Raptor, or never actually been in a Raptor or anything. So it was really cool to get one. I was there for this special day. I'm not going to pretend I didn't get a little emotional watching him hand over that hard-earned money with his own two hands for something he wanted with his whole heart. Actually, I didn't see the money leave his hands. It was all online, which was a little bit scarier because, you know, scams. But this is not a story about a truck. This is a story about who he's becoming, this young entrepreneur of mine. No, not yet. It's only 50. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, we're going 0 to 50.
Go to like 4,000. Was there ever a time when you were saving for your Raptor that you thought, maybe I'm not going to meet my goal, maybe I've got to lower my expectations a little? Nope. Never a time? No, I set a goal, and then if I don't reach that goal, it bugs me, so I have to see it through and make sure I do it right so that I can actually get it.
Yeah, I seem to remember, actually this is my favorite part, your little goal sheet on your door.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about that?
I put a picture of what I wanted on my door, and then I marked off the money that I made so I could put it in here. And it was just a visual representation of what I'm working for, and that really helped.
Yep. And it was up there for years.
Yeah.
3 years maybe?
Yeah.
Yep. And he did it.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a teenager who's into something a little unusual, a little different, something that doesn't really look like what you expected, or maybe the path their friends are on, here's what I'd say to you, mom to mom. You don't have to understand it to support it, but you can try and you can listen. I didn't grow up around bladesmithing. I couldn't tell you the difference between a hunting knife and an everyday carry until recently. But I didn't need to be the expert. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. I didn't need to be the expert. I just needed to give him space so that he could learn. I just needed to notice what lit my son up, what brought him joy, and give him space to do it. I think God wires our kids sometimes with these quirky sparks on purpose, and it's our job not to snuff them out. Let them lead sometimes. It's great for growth, both for them and us. Letting your kids pursue what they're passionate about, even when it's inconvenient or messy, or you just don't get it, even if it means watching them hand over a wad of their hard-earned money, that's how you raise somebody who knows the value of a little healthy risk and how to work for what matters to them. Okay, Emmett, what advice would you have for other teenagers who have a dream like you did, but maybe they feel like their parents or others just aren't taking them seriously? What kind of advice would you have for them?
You just have to ignore everybody that says you can't and just start. You gotta learn from failure.
Yep.
Yep, it's the best way to learn.
One day at a time?
Yep. Every day, stay consistent.
Okay. You're a good example of that.
Yeah.
He's 16. He built this business with his own hands, sold what he made, and bought what he dreamed of. No shortcuts. I don't know what your kid's bladesmithing is. Maybe you don't either yet. But it's probably already there, just waiting for you to notice. If this encouraged you today, I'd love for you to stick around. I talk a lot here about raising kids who chase what they're made for, and how we should chase what we're made for. While we're all just here trying to figure out what God has in store for us. And it's easier outdoors sometimes. Yes.